We're live nationwide. 12 volt talk time Wednesday night here. Got a new face down at the bottom. Got a standard face over here. Standard. Did that even sound right?
Yeah.
What's going on, Rob?
Yo, what's up?
What is going on, chat room? We have got up and comer on YouTube, I would say. I don't even know if I'd say up and comer anymore. He's been killing it. Parker. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, what's his last name, Derek?
I'm going to try to get it right. He told me earlier. I could say that he didn't. Is it Dacchille?
Yep, you got it.
Dacchille.
Yeah.
So those of you who don't know how to pronounce it, now you do. And see, that's one of those things like back in the day when you're reading magazines and you see somebody's name, you always wonder how it's pronounced, and you never got to hear anybody talk about it.
Yep.
There you go. We got it. It's Dacchille.
Don't worry, nobody ever gets it right. So
The cool cat. You just remember that part. The Dacchille.
there you go.
Yeah,
Yes.
Parker D.
Parker D.
It is.
That's a lot easier to say for sure.
So yeah, thanks for hanging out with us here on 12 Volt Talk. We've got a pretty decent sized chat room going on here. People asking questions and saying hello, and we're gonna get into asking you some questions about car audio. And yeah, we're excited. Y'all ready to get started?
I'm ready.
Let's get this party started. So Parker, first off, tell us, how did you get into car audio?
Well, when I was in high school, I had a buddy who had two Kenwood 12s in his little Audi, and it was pretty cool for when you're that young. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever, and he ended up selling them to me, and that's how I got started.
Always starts with a little bit of bass. Isn't that right,
Yep.
Rob?
Everybody starts with bass. No one that's young that gets into stereos is like, you know what, I'm going to get me a sound quality system. I just want the components and the imaging. And no, you just want to rattle the trunk.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but see, that starts a lifelong interest in not only just car audio, I think audio in general.
Yeah.
I mean, the 212s, the Kenwood 12s, was that like your first experience of subwoofers, or had you used them at home before and like home theater or anything like that? Or was this really like your first bass experience?
That was really my first real basic experience. I had a few friends that like had them. I had heard. Actually, I remember the first time I ever heard like bigger subs. I didn't really like it. I was you couldn't hear the music, and I thought it was kind of weird. But then once I started like listening to my buddies, I was like, this is actually kind of cool. And then I really started getting into it. And
Yeah, so I've seen some of your videos where you have some of your buddies in your videos and working on their systems and stuff. So you have some guys you hang out with that'll bump with you.
Yep.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
That's always fun.
You never get into working on their systems, though. It's a big problem later on.
It really is. I've done it, and I have some that hit me up, hey man, you want to help me build a box? It's like, okay, well.
Like, people get paid money to do this, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. A lot of times when people hear that you do something, they think that you like to do it for free for somebody. It's like hey, it's a friend. I want to help you out, but hey, I got a up and coming YouTube channel. I have a full-time job. I'm trying to, handle it all, and that can get difficult. So, Rob, I'll let you go next. I talk too much.
No, man, no. So, what was your first like real system that you remember, or system that you were proud of?
It's hard to say. Like the two Kenwoods I had, I really loved them, and they rattled the crap out of my little Subaru. That was so much fun. And then from there, I kept buying. Like I would get on Craigslist and I'd always buying subs, and I'd hook them up and I'd sell them, and it was just so much fun. It wasn't really until I started the YouTube channel that I started actually getting decent stuff. I got my first American bass, and that was one of my early videos on my channel. I think that's when I really kind of realized that I like some nicer stuff, and it was.
Yeah, and is that the subs you still have, the American bass 12s?
I did. I just sold them, but.
Oh, okay.
I had bought a single American bass 12, and then I sold it, and then I ended up liking it so much I bought two of them. That's what I ran for a good little while.
Yeah, that's cool, and we'll get to the YouTube stuff because I know a lot of people watching this, I'm sure, watch YouTube, watch your YouTube, and hopefully watch us as well. Rob's throwing up a super chat here. Scott, aka Civic, Superstar Guys. Yeah, thank you, sir. We appreciate you guys throwing us a little bit of cheese. Byron, always up in the house.
Yeah.
And yeah, we appreciate Byron. Byron is probably one of the most consistent supporters across all the channels. I see him on everybody, and he's a really strong supporter of car audio and throws people cheese all the time. So,
and speaking of,
that is awesome.
So is this dude.
And yeah, Joaquin is the same way. The same way, throwing us a 20. Yeah. Thanks, man. We appreciate that.
He's the first human in the world to be full sent.
And I can't believe that's still not been posted yet, because I've got that video of him sitting. Now, Parker, just to give you kind of an idea of this, we did our Texas we call it the old school stereo meet, but we did it in Texas the past few years in the fall. Okay. And this past year, we had a guy show up. Was it an Astro van?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was an Astro van.
Yeah, it was a Chevy Astro, like a panel type van. His license plates got 160s. So he said that he hit like 163 at 65 hertz or something.
It was high.
It's pretty high.
Yeah.
So anyway, a couple of these fools would get in there and sit, and Joaquin was one of the guys that sat inside the port.
Oh goodness. Nice.
Yeah.
I've got a video of it. You should see his face. It looks like it's going to melt off. But I was like, you guys, I mean, come on. Nobody had on any ear protection. They were just sitting in there holding their ears.
Yeah.
Not too smart. But it was so loud outside the truck, I can't even imagine. Rob, you sat in there too, didn't you? I
sat in there, yeah. I sat in the front, though. I didn't get in the... I mean, I don't know if I could have fit in the port, but I didn't get in the port.
Yeah, it was. I'm going to have to dig through the footage and pull that out, because that's definitely worth everybody seeing.
Yeah, that's a good Joaquin meme there.
All right, sorry for that side jag. Didn't mean to throw that out there, but it was something important, and it was relevant to that part of the conversation.
Definitely.
So the next question is, and I think I know the answer to it hurt, is what Joaquin says. It hurt. SPL, SQ, or both, and then in addition to that, what are you looking for in a system? Is it like you're only looking for the bass to shake your car? I mean, a lot of your videos, you're testing subs and you're measuring SPL and stuff like that. Is that like that the thing for you right now, or is there any kind of gearing toward leveling things out or doing anything different? What's up with that?
When it comes to bass, I'm definitely more towards SPL. I really enjoy something that really I can feel in my chest, and that really shakes the car, and that's just personally kind of what I like as far as that. That being said, I do love some nice crisp tweeters and some crisp speakers and whatnot too. Sometimes it's really nice just to kind of turn the bass down and just listen to some crisp music.
Yeah, some of the SQ cars that we've listened to in the past, it's really, I think SQ sometimes is maybe mistaken about what that truly means. It obviously means different things for different people, but I just call it more balanced, I guess, because I'm not an SQ person. I'll say that. I like to turn the bass knob up. I do still want to hear the vocals and stuff, but I want to feel it too. So, but I'm not a guy that needs 150 dBs. So I'm kind of somebody that's in between those. But when you hear a car that, that's loud, but yet you're feeling the impact of the bass when the kick drum hits, it sounds like you're right in a concert, those type things. Mm-hmm. That's kind of cool. But, hey, everybody likes what they like, and nothing's wrong about either thing. And that's kind of what we do here with 12 Volt Talk, is we get people on who prefer one, people that prefer the other. And it's like, everybody's right. It doesn't matter. You like what you like. Rob likes what he likes. And,
Yeah, everything's good except for super tweeters. There's no excuse for the super tweets.
You mean
man,
you
when
need
you
6
get the
of
demo,
them.
when you
Six-
get the demo, and they got 10 pro mids in each door, and then like 8 super tweets, and the bass stops, and it just melts your face and blows. Yeah.
Fair.
Have you, Parker? Have you ever been to any of the big like car audio competitions and been seen the DB drags and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm about an hour away from Sundown, so every year I go to the Sundown show. And
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's right. You are close to that. I was planning on going. Are they doing it this year, or
Yep.
they are doing it? Is it August still?
Still August? I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Are you allowed over there, D?
Probably not.
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't ever tell if I'm on the good side or the bad side, but there was one video that probably made me on the bad side. But
yeah,
I've made a few where I hadn't been too happy with Sundown, but some of them I am, so I don't. You kind of never know what companies think when you make these videos, because like they might have zero idea who I am, and they might not, and they might be like, oh, he's that kid that only likes budget stuff, So it's just you never.
And it's more the fans of that certain brand. They get quite upset a lot more than the companies themselves.
They do. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, the whole Orion Sundown saga from a couple years ago. It's been a while, Rob. It has at least been 2 years ago, I think, since that 3K shootout that I did with all those 3,000 watt amps, and just happened to find out one of the Sundowns that didn't do as much as they thought it did, and it was just a mess. But
I bet.
Yeah. Anyway, it's all good. Now they test all their stuff and they do their quality control and all that, so it works out better for everybody. So now let's switch gears a little bit. The Third Era, real quick shout out to him. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Ginava. And I saw El Fuego as well.
Mm-hmm.
Got some pictures of some Orion old school amps. So the next, we're going to shift gears a little bit and go ahead and move on to the YouTube stuff, because this is the part where we love having YouTubers on 12 Volt Talk, because what we know about trying to make videos. And I think the people that just consume the content, they can't really, it's hard to describe it. You can't understand what gets put into a video unless you actually make one. And I think that's a challenge for a lot of people out there that watch them. Hey, just try one day. Just try to make it. You can edit it on your phone or whatever, but just try to do it yourself. Just do one and just see how involved it can be. And then you start seeing what people do when they do different camera angles and different things like that. Adding special features or whatever, if you wish, into the video. It complicates it a lot. Editing takes time, things like that. So I think it's a good idea for people to try, but we appreciate having people like you on. And right off the beginning, why and when did you start your YouTube channel?
I've had several YouTube channels over the years. I used to snowboard and skateboard a lot, and I'd make just little videos of doing that. This channel, I think I started it in like 2016, and I was just kind of making just random videos here and there. And then I think in the summer of 2018, I bought the Rockville K9. And that was when that sub was really hot, because EXO had just made his video on it, and that video ended up kind of blowing up. And that's where I got a lot of my subs from. And then, so that's really when the whole kind of audio part of the channel started. And
so now that you're doing car audio, do you have like a mission or a goal, or are you just trying to, just having fun, or are you shooting towards something with your channel?
It's kind of hard to say where I want to end up with it. The main thing for me is just kind of spreading positivity about car audio and growing it. It's a really awesome sport, but there's so much kind of negativity in it, and people bashing other people's builds and stuff, which is really sad to see. So my goal is just to always have a smile and really just kind of just be a really positive person about the whole car audio.
And we're on the same plane.
I can tell.
We're just trying to keep it positive. Like, there's enough room for everybody in this little ocean.
Exactly.
We want the more people that succeed in this, the more people that can succeed later.
Yeah, that's very true. And you know, we're fans. Obviously, we like watching your videos. We like watching EXO. We like watching Steve Mead. You know, we talk about it all the time, how we're so fortunate these days with all the content that we have, you know, either on our cell phones or our TVs or our iPads or whatever, because people are taking the time and the energy to make these videos. And it's just like, man, I every night, like I'll create a playlist of videos I want to watch before I go to bed. That's usually what I do. And it's like, man, you could never do this, you know, 10 years ago. You didn't have the ability to watch exactly what you wanted to see. And we're so, you know, it's like we're so deep into an area, like, you know, you think of electronics, you think of audio, you think of car audio, and then you think of, you know, bass. So it's like you can really hone in on things that you like. And that's what's cool about, I think, about what what's available now.
Yep.
But yeah, that's cool. So go ahead, Rob.
Well, I was gonna say I have one quick side jag before you. I know what you're wanting to talk about. Something you're pumped out the next question. Me too. But do you, as a YouTuber, watch YouTube channels about doing things on YouTube and how to grow your channel and all this type of stuff?
I definitely have watched some about growing the channel and whatnot. Especially a couple years ago when I really knew I wanted to do some YouTube stuff. I watched a bunch of that kind of stuff. Now I've been so busy now that I say I don't watch as much.
Yeah, and another side jag from that, like, do you get like kind of enamored with the equipment to doing YouTube videos, kind of the same way you do car audio? Because I know I do, and I know Derek does as well.
I would say no. I just kind of get my phone out, or I get a camera, and for me, at the moment, it's more about making the videos. And I really enjoy some of the equipment I've been able to buy, like the MM1 or some of that, to help to make the videos better. But as far as filming equipment and whatnot, I just hadn't really had time to.
Yeah,
really
stay away from it. It's way more expensive than car audio itself.
Well, I mean, that's a great point. You know, without getting too deep into it, that you don't have to worry about that. You know, we have such good cameras on our cell phones these days, and the audio is pretty good. There's not a lot that you have to do to put together to make a video. Now, you can spend as much as you want to spend buying the fancy cameras, microphones, and lights and all the other stuff. But you can also, you know, go get you some lights at Home Depot, put some bulbs in them, put some covers over them. You can do stuff like that and save money. You can do it on a budget, but I think that's very interesting to hear that. And I'm kind of glad to hear, because like Rob said, you get caught up in not only trying to figure out how to beat the YouTube algorithm by watching these people telling you what you need to do. It's so important just to do it and then learn, right? Yes. I think that's probably the best way, is just put out a video, and then if it doesn't do good, you're like, well, I guess I don't need to do it like that again. But if you try to, you know, polish it and make it every one of them perfect and every one to be optimized, then you're going to waste a lot of time and get frustrated. And I think that's why a lot of people drop out of YouTube, is because they see people that do really well, have hundreds of thousands or millions of subscribers, and know that these people are making a living doing this. And they sit there just like when you're watching these, you know, late night commercials that come on, infomercials, thinking that you can lose 75 pounds in a couple weeks by taking a pill.
Yeah.
You know, this stuff, you got to work for it. This is not anything that's handed to you. So you have to understand the full process involved with it. But
crap, I wasted my money on those pills.
Yes, and you waste your money on that fancy mic and all that camera stuff too.
Yeah, I did. I shoot with the M50 and the iPhone, and no one could tell the difference in the same video.
Well, I told this story before. I don't know if Parker's heard it, but I got more comments when I started filming with my iPhone than the fancy DSLRs and the camcorders that I used to use. More people said, wow, your video, what did you do? I was like, I'm using an iPhone. No way. So then it's like, hey, use what's easy, right? What works well for you. So next up, the next part is something I'm really excited about because I've done some playing around with the lithiums and built a few banks and done some things, and I actually have some headways as well, but I haven't put together one of the massive banks like you have. So tell us a little bit about this headway bank, and while you're telling, I'm going to try to pull up your video over here and share the screens if people haven't seen it.
Okay.
So that we can show them what you built, and just explain a little bit about the maybe the construction, the components, and why you decided to build it. Just anything you want to talk about that headway bank.
Sounds good. So yeah, I have 128 amp hours of headway lithium cells. And the reason I went with headway is I was looking into lithium. I realized I had like 3 AGM batteries in the back of my car, and they were super heavy and a pain to move around. And you really don't, you just don't get that much power from them compared to like lithium. So I was looking around, and I was looking at Yinglong and C-Max and just several of those, and I just kind of landed on headway just because you can run them with AGMs, which is really nice. They're decently safe as opposed to like C-Maxes that are always blowing up when people don't do them right and stuff. And you can do it pretty affordably. The cells are about $10 a cell, as opposed to doing something like Yinlong cells where they're pretty expensive cells. Now, of course, you got to get a lot more headway cells to get the same power, but you really can start with kind of a smaller bank and build your way up from there. So yeah, that right there, that's a 64 AH bank. They're actively balanced, and kind of the other thing I did different is I put them into actual battery cases. One, just to make it a little easier to move around, to make it a little bit safer. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, and that with that case, did you measure them to figure out what case size you need, or did you already know through research what size case?
Through research, there's another YouTuber who does like I can't think of his name, but he does a lot of solar.
Like Will Prowse?
It's Hugo something, I think, because I've seen it too. He did a VW microbus EV.
Yes.
And he did one of these exactly like this. When I saw Parker, I was like, yeah, I know where he saw it, but it's still cool because he did it with a, kind of a different aspect. And with you showing it on a car audio side, I think it's very important for people to see it that way too.
And it come out clean. It's just like a regular battery.
And which is great. It's it's safer, and it fits in a really small spot, and it's light.
Yeah. Have you considered getting some Yinlong just to test versus these to see? Because I know that the Yinlong, the ding dongs, whatever they're calling them, they have like a discharge C rate of like 30, or was it 30 or 40? And the headways have a 5C discharge rate. So I wonder how much it actually matters in the car application. I like to see it compared head to head.
I've thought about it. Again, they're so much more expensive for me to build a bank, and then I gotta to make it fair, I gotta charge them higher. And
yeah, it definitely is more work to use the Yinlongs, and what a lot of people do is they delete the factory battery and they just use the Yinlongs.
The headway, you can use them in smaller banks. They're more affordable, especially for everyday audio type of people.
Yes.
Yeah. I think what's coolest about this, is you show all the different components. You show, how to get the bus bars, how to get the little balancer, the correct size battery case, and what's so cool is how all that stuff fits so tight in that battery case. And then when you get done, it's like, dude, you need to get like a Parker or something sticker and stick on there, because that's like it's like your own little deal there.
Yeah, I was gonna build a few of them just to sell them, but
you definitely could. People would pick them up.
I told this to Big D earlier, but there's so many that with all the coronavirus stuff going on, the cases that I ordered are still stuck in China, so I have no idea when they're gonna show up. So
yeah, that's always a game.
We'll just see. Yep.
So Terrence asked, how do you charge your headway lithiums?
I just charge them off the stock alt.
Yep, That's the best thing about them.
Yep. I do have a high output alt to put on them, but I've been so busy, and so far I hadn't needed them. I never dropped below 13 volts. So
yeah, that's pretty awesome.
And you're using 2 of these with the Taramps 12K, right?
Yep. Now, I will say I don't have the Taramps as turned up as it probably could get, but it's still. I mean, I'm seeing like 6,000 watts at 2 ohms and stuff. So
what kind of amperage are you pulling on off of that on a run? Have you tested it?
I have not tested it. Nope.
Oh man, that'd be interesting to see.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot. I'm sure if it's 6,000 watts, he's definitely pulling some
because
juice.
those, the Taramps aren't always the most efficient. They always put out the power though. No question about that.
Yep.
All right, so something else you test that I'm interested in is budget subwoofers. You've tested about every 12 there is. I've tested quite a few myself, and I'm always doing it. So what's your favorite $100 12-inch subwoofer?
My absolute favorite is the AudioPipe BD2. Now it's now like $120 because I've noticed a bunch of stuff is kind of creeping up in price. But I bought one of those subs a year ago. I just thrashed on it. It didn't give me any problems. I sold it to a buddy who put it on an amp that was too small for it, and he definitely clipped it. He thrashed on it. He ended up like shaking his mirror off his car, and then it wouldn't die. So then I bought it back from him so I could make another video with it. And yeah, overall that's been my favorite one. I've tested some others I've liked, and like different subs have different, perks and cons to them, but overall that's been for my style of bass, that's really been my favorite one.
Have you had one that's been like the most disappointing? From what you expected anyways?
It's hard to say. I got the Scar SDR, and I did my RMS test on it, which it failed, which I thought was kind of sad. It was only 600 watts, and it was on music. It wasn't even a test tone, and it failed within like two minutes. And I did that exact same test to multiple other subs, and none of them failed. So
wow. Well, I mean, that's the kind of things people want to know,
Yeah.
because you can watch all the reviews or look at all the reviews you want on Amazon about how great a sub is or how bad it is, but to see stuff like that as a straight comparison and the way you've kind of done all those tests, I think it's really useful, and a lot of people appreciate that, and I'm sure that'll continue to do well for you.
I see. Are we going to the next question?
No. I was just going to say it's interesting that he likes that AudioPipe sub. That's just interesting, and that's cool to hear. And the other thing about making these videos and being a YouTuber is YouTube pays us a little bit for the ads that come on YouTube. But the reason that a lot of us test stuff that's either available on Amazon or eBay is because we do what's called affiliate links. So when you look in the description, when you look in the comments, a lot of times we'll have a link that'll take you to Amazon or eBay. When you buy stuff, we actually get a portion of that. So it's very helpful for us to have things available. That's why when car audio companies come to me, hey, can you test my blah, blah, blah? I'm like, are you on Amazon or eBay? They're like, no, we're selective dealers only. I'm like, well, it doesn't help me at all to show your stuff because, I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'm money hungry by any means, but it's like we got to scratch each other's back here because we don't take money to do reviews.
Exactly.
So I don't want to do that because I want to be independent, but yet you guys have got to provide a place for us to, to send people that we can get something out of it as well. And that was a total side jag, Rob, because you were getting ready to say something, and it's your turn. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say during the testing, like it's, specifically in your videos with the 12s, you will test something for RMS rating and you're using music or you're using a sine wave or whatever the case may be. You got someone in the comments like, well, he didn't do this or he didn't do that. And I see it all the time. It's like, I remember him distinctly saying, this isn't a fair test. I'm just testing it to see what it will do. And same thing happens to me, but you always got those, like, did you even watch the video? Did you listen to what he was saying?
Definitely. And it's wild. And one, people just don't watch the full video, and they'll comment before they watch it. And then two, like no matter what I do, I can never make, most people happy. Like when I first started, people would give me criticism, and I'd say, oh, okay. So I would, buy a different box, and then they'd give me crap on that. So then I'd say, okay, and I'd get something different, and then I'd get wire, and then they didn't like that, and then after a while, I realized I'm never going to make them happy. So I just
it's a total waste of your time to try to do it, because there'll always be some NASA scientist on there trying to tell you how to solder or how to do something that you didn't do correct. So I appreciate input, honestly, because I do things wrong all the time. So I do like when they do that, but when they start nitpicking, that's the thing when it's like, okay, well, you make your video and I'll link to it. How about that? That way, since you're the subject matter expert, then we'll just send people over to you. And that usually gets them to stop, because they won't make a video.
Yeah. No, or they have none. But every now and again, you'll get someone that's got a genuinely good comment, and you're like, okay, I didn't think of that. Okay, I'll do it next time I do my video. I'll make sure that I include that, or I mention it, or whatever the case may be.
And I'd say I've been very fortunate. I have a lot of really great viewers that always leave nice comments, and they leave helpful comments. And I've learned so much from reading through comments. It's been really cool.
Yeah, it really is a two-way street with that, and I'm the same way. If people get nasty and stuff, I'll just block them, and I'm sure a lot of people have been blocked over the years. Just it's like I can't waste my time dealing with that. And you'll see the more your channel grows, the more you'll have to deal with that. But the one suggestion I can give you is just what you've already learned. It's just like you've got to push forward and ignore the people who are the haters that are always trying to knock you down. Just keep going, because you're not going to be able to please everybody. There's no way to even think that. And it sounds like you already kind of got that. So that's good. Good motto to live by. So in addition to the subwoofers for 100, do you have like a video that you've made? I guess I'd say car audio related. It's the one that you're most proud of. I don't know, maybe the one that either took the most time or the one that did the best. I don't know what the reason for it being you're most proud of, but do you just have one that you're most proud of?
There's not a specific one, but some of the ones I've been most proud of are just the ones where it's more of a kind of a build series. I really enjoy making those, and it's really funny because like they don't do as well as my review videos or stuff, but they take way more time. And just because I enjoy doing it so much, I just also put more time into making it a really good video, and like I'll get all excited, and then I'll upload it, and then like half the people watch it, and it's like, oh.
You're sitting there waiting. It's like, when are they gonna come?
Like, this video is great. Like,
I know. It's like, man, I spent so much time, put so much effort in it, and nobody wants to watch it. That's frustrating. It definitely is, and Rob can attest to it as well, because he does a lot of the build videos, and doesn't get the traction that he deserves either. And I don't know what the reason for that is. I guess people want dramatic, right? They want to see the subwoofers flex. They want to see the power numbers. They want to see things blow up.
Yep.
And I would say it's different from channel to channel, because if you watch like Doug, all his stuff is build videos. He gets views from it. It's just crazy, Yeah. It's Mark the same way.
That's kind of what I thought. I was like, oh, these videos are going to do great. Like, especially because like I watch a lot of car videos where people just build cars. And I was like, I'm going to make videos of building a speaker system, and then it just for whatever reason, it just doesn't get traction like you would think it would.
Yeah, and the car channels on YouTube, they absolutely blew up. So like if we could tap into that would be great for all of us.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a guy that's between me and you, Parker, here in North Carolina. He's in Winston-Salem. I don't know if you watch Kyle. What is this? Gosh, I can't remember the rest of his. I want to say it's Acura, but it's not. It's like Kyle something. It's a weird long name that's got numbers in it and stuff. But he just crossed 1 million subs not long ago. And I hit him up because he was doing stuff with Sundown. And I was like, hey, man, I'll bring my amp dyno, my handheld dyno, like your MM1. I said, I'll bring it out so we can test and see how much power your amps do, just trying to get into his vids. He's like, be quiet, little one. He's a really nice guy. I don't want to sound wrong about it, but you could tell that he's like, who's this dude? And step back.
Yeah. This bald guy, what's he doing?
But we always try, because I think it's so cool to do the collaborations even across other genres. But if you can definitely get into somebody who is a bigger car YouTuber, and then Mr. Beast, he's huge on YouTube, and he's like in Greenville, was not very far from me at all.
Wow.
And but yeah, he doesn't want to hear about car audio.
If you could get on one of his videos,
yeah, that would be it. But I wouldn't fit into his stuff. But his videos are very, I don't know. It's hard to describe, and there's been people that have analyzed them to figure out, why his videos are so popular. But they're just good. That's all I can say about
the
it.
dude's endearing. He
is very much so.
Like, you could connect to him. It doesn't matter. You can be, old guy like us. He's a young dude doing his young thing, but he's so positive, and like he's trying to do something good. And it just, it drags you in as soon as you start watching.
It really does. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. So Just for Laughs, 8988, shooting us $50. Thank you. Appreciate
Thanks,
that.
Man.
Appreciate the cheese. So yeah, I got you as far as, which one you put a lot of time and effort into your build videos. Kind of wish they did better. I think Rob and I kind of are still looking for our specialty. I mean, I know that most of my videos that do well are the ones with the amp dyno.
Yep.
It's kind of what I'm known for. But I'm just like you guys. I get tired sometimes of doing those. And it's like, I want to do something different. I'm more than just this.
Yeah.
So we try to step out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But that's the fun part about YouTube. We're just learning.
Try some dance videos, D. Something like that, I think. Wheelie videos? I don't know.
Hey, the wheelie video did horrible, but it was impressive, right?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't really.
It was good.
The best part was when after it's done, it's like, boom, PayPal.me/Big D Wiz. Just dropped the mic on him. That was the best part of the video.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for those donations to come in, by the way.
So we talked about, kind of your most proud videos. What's your most popular video? What's the most popular video you've made?
I made a video reviewing the American-based Elite sub, and at the time it was $109 sub, and like for that price, the value was just insane. That was one of my early big videos. That was actually, it was perfect. I made that video, and that week I got monetized, which was awesome because that video just blew up, and that allowed me to be able to afford to go buy other subs to review. But yeah, that one has over 300,000 views now.
Yeah, that's the best when you can start. When you get to the point where like, okay, YouTube's paying me enough to buy the things I want to test to put on YouTube.
Exactly.
Yeah, and again, that goes back to, and I see that you use the affiliate links too in your description, which is great, so that you're able to capitalize on that as well. But that's interesting. Do you have any thoughts of why this one, got so many views, over 300,000 views? Is there something different with this one versus some of the other subs you've tested?
It's hard to say. Like, people love the idea that you can get a big subwoofer for really cheap. So like, it says cheap right in the title, and it has the price, and then it says 1200 watts, and then I had a picture of the sub on the thumbnail. I've noticed if I put a picture of a sub on a thumbnail that's got a big magnet on it, the videos just always do better. And I think people just enjoyed the video because I really put a lot of time into really showing what the sub could do.
Yeah, it's a really good video, and I think you're right. All those components kind of add up. But when you're a YouTuber, you're always trying to figure out how to grab people's attention, because if you even if you have a really good thumbnail and a really good title and all that, if people click on it and they only watch just a few seconds, that doesn't really help you all that much. Yeah. So it's evident here that, not only do you get people, you bring them in, but you're actually providing what you're showing in the thumbnail. And I think sometimes people try to fake it a little bit by saying, oh, this is what you're going to see, and they come into the video and it's not all there.
Yeah.
So it's all about grabbing the attention, and a 11-minute video with 300,000 views, that's really good to see people being that interested. So that's awesome. I mean, it's definitely a good video. I've watched it many times, and I recommend everybody else check it out. But the best cheap subwoofer, $109, 1200 watt RMS American bass E1244.
Yeah,
cool.
And I like the way that you have the AMM1 set up right there on your panel.
Yeah.
And I like the way that you pretty thoroughly test it in every way that you can, especially for someone that's like a bass head, someone that wants to know what will this do in the extreme conditions. And me myself, I wish I was more of a bass head because I know I could do a lot better with those type of videos. But then you get into the things like, well, that's not really my thing, so if I start doing it, I'm gonna get bored, and it just be a big deal.
You really got to make a video that you enjoy making. People don't get, like, this is kind of a side job or hustle for us to an extent, and if you don't enjoy what you're doing, you're just gonna quit doing it. Because I mean, it's not like we're making so much money doing this that it's just too good to be true. I mean, it's really not. You really got to love what you're doing to keep making videos.
Especially in car audio, unless you're Steve Mead.
Well,
yeah.
Or Mark, maybe.
Well, and shout out to John here, Audi 5000 Hertz. John, you change your YouTube channel too much. I can never keep up with what is going to be the name of your channel. So, John, work on that and keep it the same, because I can never remember what it is. But thank you for the Sundown remote for my SFB amp. That was sweet. That was worked out well. And appreciate you donating to the show as well. And I was going somewhere with Parker, and I just got completely sidetracked with that slapped up there. Yeah, I'm just going to go to the next question. I'll think about it here in a minute. So, what about your goals and your aspirations? I mean, I know we kind of touched on that a little bit when we talked about your kind of your mission, as what you were planning. But I think when you start seeing some income from YouTube and you're able to buy some of the things and test them, you start getting a little bit of that taste of, wow, it would be so cool if I was a Steve Mead Jr. and could do this all day, and but the dude works like 85 hours a week. So I don't know how many people really want to do that and still do all this, but that's up to you. But as far as since you've got a taste of it, do you kind of feel like your aspirations are, I'm gonna put out as much content as I can, and keep hammering it out, or are you thinking, I'm just going to do the best I can, and what comes, or what's kind of your feelings about that, about your channel?
Yeah, it's more so just keep knocking out as many videos as I can, and I'd love to get a video that would get to a million views. That's kind of my next goal. I would say it's figuring out what It's so odd. Like you never know what video is going to do that. It'll be the most random video that you don't think is going to do well will just blow up for no reason.
And it'll probably be the one you're least proud of as well.
Yeah, it was just like that video I did with the 2 Walmart subs that I blew up. I didn't think it was going to do that well, and then within just a little over a month, it's got over 200,000 views, and it's just it's weird. You never know what's going to do well.
Can you give us a sneak peek on anything you might be working on that nobody knows about yet?
I don't have a ton made. I have the biggest Scar 12-inch sub, which is not as impressive as it sounds, but we'll have that coming out soon. I've got a new Sundown sub. I've showed a little bit of that. That's out. I'm planning on doing door panels at some point. That'll be out too, but it's kind of whatever happens. I'll see something like, oh wow, that'd be a really cool video, and I'll write it down, and then I don't know.
That's how I do. I got a book over here.
He's got the Hi-Fi Vega Bible of ideas.
That's awesome.
So give people an idea of the duration. So when you think of what you're going to do for a video, so say you just got your YouTube payment for the month and you got a couple $100 to buy something, how do you decide what you're going to buy, what you're going to review? And then when you do that, How much time does it take you to create a 11-minute video?
When it comes to what I do, I read through almost every single comment that I get. I don't have time. I'm really sorry, guys. I don't have time to reply to all of them. I wish I could, but I read through all the comments, and you'll kind of see trends of certain subs people want me to do, or certain areas people want to see. So it's partially that, and then it's partially just kind of what I'm feeling like doing. So like the next kind of area I'm wanting to go into is the subs around that $300 mark. And that's partially because a bunch of people have wanted to see those, and partially I'm kind of burnt out on doing $100 subs. So I want to just do something different to change up the channel a little bit.
Yeah, I think when you engage people with the polls and stuff, that's a great idea, and I should do that more myself. That gives people more of, they feel like they have input as to what you're doing, but it also benefits you because it tells you what people really want to see.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it works both ways, and I've seen people kind of appreciate that, and I've thought that the videos where I've asked people, hey, what do you want to see? And they say that, those actually do usually do better. So that's a great idea to keep the community engaged with the content. But there again, you still kind of want to do, you're going to give them you're going to give them options based on things that you want to do. In other words, you're not going to give them an option of something that you really don't want to do. Because like you said, this is not our day job. This is just stuff we do.
There have been a few polls. I'd put something in there that I really kind of didn't want to do, but everybody had mentioned it. So I'd put it in there, and I'd kind of be sitting there hoping that like they wouldn't click on it. It was like,
inevitably that's the one they choose.
Well, I've got pretty lucky so far.
So D added a very good question here. The final question. He in the left-hand corner is a Sequoia, man. I'm a Suburban guy. So why'd you go Sequoia over Tahoe Suburban?
The main reason is, so I had my Jeep, and it was just starting to have issues, and I needed a car, and I wanted something pretty reliable and something that had all-wheel drive and all that stuff. So the Sequoia kind of fell into my lap, and I really wanted a Toyota though, just because they're so reliable, and really nobody had done a build with a Sequoia. Everybody does Tahoes, and they're great, and to an extent I wish I'd got one because it'd be so easy, but you can just add alternators and stuff super easy with those. But with Sequoia, it's a big pain. But I really want to do something different that hadn't been seen a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, if you did get a Tahoe or a Suburban, your air conditioning would have went out at some point, and then it would have went out again. That's the best thing about, like, they're very reliable as far as the engines and transmissions, but the air conditioning is absolutely terrible. And that's important when you're basing.
Yeah, it's definitely important. Now, the one thing I'll say about the Sequoia, and I haven't hit over 150, I don't think, with mine yet with the testing I've done, but that rear roll down window is problematic, and I'm sure you know that. And the other thing, the rear latch handle, is yours a plastic or a metal handle?
It's plastic.
So somebody, and I'll have to see who makes it. I think it's Dorman or something, and it's on Rock Auto, but they make a metal one.
Okay.
But that plastic handle, when it gets cold, it's going to break.
Really?
I've broken 3 of the plastic ones before I found the metal one. Okay. And when it breaks, it's a pain because you have to get on the inside of the truck and pull that panel off to be able to get to it. So I would go ahead and put that on your list. I'll see if I can find it for you, and I'll send it over. But
I appreciate you.
It's very small little issues that I've had with my Sequoia. I've had my Sequoia. It's a 2001. I've had it since 2004, so a few years old, and rock solid, man. I'm never gonna get rid of that thing. I'm gonna keep driving it until it goes into the ground.
That is my plan too.
Yeah, they're nice. They have their little quirks. Like I said, latch handle. There's some other little things like the starter. I already told you about that. If it goes bad, it's really hard to get to in the Sequoia. But the transmissions and the engines are rock solid, and it's a good one. Now it will be interesting to see how well does it put up with heavy bass, right? Yep. Because we talk about these other vehicles and about, having problems, but a lot of that could be because people are rattling them to death.
Yep.
Well, yet to be determined.
I'm pretty sure Subwoofer King's got you covered on the 4Runner. He's about ripped his in half.
Yes, he has. His Forerunner was only like a couple years old, and he was already cracking panels on the outside.
Oh,
Wow.
dude, he's putting the spanning foam and everything else in there.
Yes, man, and foam in there.
Like, dude, that's a nice truck. Why do you keep
So-
the old? Do
So
that?
with your Sequoia, are you planning on like? I know you've done the floorboard and stuff already, and you've put down the sound deadener there and stuff. But are you planning on like giving the full treatment to the headliner and all the panels and all that stuff with the sound deadener?
Probably, if I can find the time to do it, yeah. It'll have to happen at some point. I'm planning to do a bigger build for the Sundown show.
And then
So-
you're gonna have to take
Might
extra
have to
time to
do
make a video of it.
Now I figured out he's going to take all of the $100 subwoofers and he's going to fit them all in there in their
Okay.
own optimized box.
I've
that'd
had
be
so many
awesome.
comments of people saying, "Dude," just because I posted the video of just me showing all of them. People saying, "Dude, just stick them all in there and see what it does." And I was just like, "Oh, dude,
That'd be awesome.
it'd be cool." But
Just like just build some giant. How many of them do you have laying around? Like 8, 10?
yeah, something like that.
Just build a giant enclosure and just throw them all in there, man. I bet you could get 1 million views off that video.
Maybe.
Probably. And what
And
you
they're
should
all
do
like-
is
Are they
you
all
should-
like dual 4? Or are they like some of them single 4 them? Or
It's some are they're all
that'd be
dual,
funny.
but some are dual 2, some are dual 4s. But it'd
Yeah,
be
what-
fine. It wouldn't matter.
what would
Yeah.
really get people is if you'd like isobaric some different brands and have them
no.
like facing each other.
He's always doing that. He's gonna put a Honda S2000 motor in his 37 Ford.
I want to do that so bad. Y'all just don't even know.
There you go.
Oh man.
Just being different, man. There's nothing wrong with
Yep.
being different.
Not at
Yeah.
all.
It's like you said, that's why you got a Sequoia, because you didn't
Yep.
want to be like everybody else. Even though the Tahoes and the Suburbans are designed for car audio. The seats that flip up, you can put all the amps under there. The Sequoia, there is no freaking place to put an amp underneath the seat because you just can't. There's no room. They sit flat on the ground. But you got room in the back, I guess. You don't have to use your third row because you don't have kids and all that stuff to slap in the car like some of us do. So, but that's cool. Well, man, it's what we rolling up. We're getting close to our hour here. What we'll do? What's Rob?
Should I read
got?
my list?
Yeah, Rob's got a list of people who have won prizes tonight.
Cool.
Is that right, Rob? They win
No.
something?
We talked about Parker giving all those $100 subs away.
Oh, that's
Oh,
it.
I'm like,
yeah.
Listen to him. He's like, you invited me on this show and you're stealing my time and you're
Yeah.
trying to give away my subwoofers. I don't think so.
"Oh, is this everyday audios or
Ooh, that was a shot.
shots fired?" All right, let me read the super chats and you close us out. And we go on to the after show. So we got Scott, aka Civic, Byron Chambliss, Joaquin Juarez, Third Era, Gene Nava, El Fuego, Just for Laughs, and Audi 5000. Thank you all.
All right. Thanks, everybody. And we will leave a link to Parker's YouTube channel. And Parker's, or anything else? Do you like an Instagram or anything that you want to shout out that we can send people to?
Yeah, I do. My Instagram is Parker Dacch, DACCH,
Okay.
and that's it, I suppose.
Cool. So you'll throw some of your do you tease people with putting some of your build pics up there and some of your sub pics before the videos go live?
I do some. I don't do as much as I should do, but yeah,
Yeah.
I
Got to tease the folks.
try to do some teasing here and there.
So you guys make sure you go check out Parker's YouTube channel, give him a subscribe, and leave a comment and tell him that 12 Volt Talk sent you, so that we can get him some more peeps watching this channel. We appreciate all of you as always for tuning in, whether it is via iTunes, Google Podcasts. I think they changed it, Rob. It was Google Play, but they changed it to Google Podcasts. And we're also on Spotify. So if you're watching us there, listening to us, make sure you also go to our youtube.com/12etalk and you can subscribe and check us out. We do a show about every other week whenever we can get somebody interesting on to join us. But again, we just wanted to thank Parker. Thank you for your time, Parker, joining us here tonight.
No problem. Thank you.
And we'll have fun. We'll have to do it again sometime. Maybe when you get your first 1 million view video, then we'll have
Perfect.
you back on here. And you can tell everybody how to do it and how to do it right.
I'll try.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thanks everybody again for tuning in. Until next time, 12 Volt Talk, we are out.
Later.
All right. So let me scroll through here.
So as you scroll through and find questions, I'm going to tell you a story.
Okay.
I just bought a 2006 Prius for my daughter.
Okay.
Go and change the brake light. So I'm switching. I bought the bulbs at Walmart, or we were somewhere. I bought the bulbs. Get back and I start putting the bulbs in. I'm like, wait a minute, this one works. This one works. That shows 3 of them, and I'm like, there's no spot up on the brake light to put a bulb in. So I get on YouTube. I find out, hey, they used LEDs in these. I got to order the whole entire tail light. And then I watched a video of the dude doing tail light. He took out the entire back, all the way down to the metal, and I was like, there's no way I'm doing this after work like that. So I just undo a couple screws here and there, and I just pulled that carpet as hard as I could and stuck my hand under there and just
Nice.
That was my adventure for this week.
Nice.
Yeah, I think this is a good point that Carl makes, and it's true because it's difficult when you make YouTube videos, and I think Rob and Parker both do this well. But when you talk to the camera, it's like you're talking to a person, and it's hard if you've never done that before. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand about how difficult it can be when you make videos. But that's very true. And you want people to sound more genuine. And I know that's important. And I think that comes across with you guys as well when you do your videos. But that's a good point that Carl makes there. And I agree with him 100%.
It's tough. The tough part is if you're winging it and you've got an idea of what you want to say, but it doesn't come out right. That's when the cuts start coming in.
Yep, there you go.
Thank
He
you.
does a good job of keeping the footage rolling. So, yep, there you go. See, there's your feedback with that.
Here we go. Third era. Old school SPL challenge. We haven't even talked about it this year, but if I do that, I'm gonna need someone to actually be the person that does most of the work for it.
Yeah, we've had that discussion before with you know, with everybody. Everybody, we enjoy doing this stuff too, but it's just we have to do what we can do time wise, and we have to have some time for family and, you know, for responsibilities we have outside of YouTube and work. So we can't take on too much. And I think that's what Rob did most of the old school SPL challenge last year because I had to kind of not assist. So anyway, that's the reason. It's not that we don't want to do it with you guys and don't want to engage you. It's just that we're just trying to balance everything the best we can.
Yeah, whenever the 150 challenge ends, maybe we'll I've got ideas what I'd like to do. And it'd be different than last year. So, yeah, we just have to get a couple of volunteers in the community to help out.
Yep. Let's see. We've already answered the question about how do you charge the lithiums.
Uh-oh. Red line, man. I'm telling you. Haro versus Red line.
That one may be hard to wheelie because, I don't know, it doesn't have a laid-back seat post on it, but we'll see.
And it's a 26-inch, right?
Yeah, I can wheelie a 29, so it's no problem.
Yeah. But a BMX? Did you wheelie the BMX?
Yeah. Well, I haven't done it on video, but I can do it.
Oh.
So, 25 Hertz to Life, we mentioned this at the very beginning. Just remember, chill. It's
Chili.
Dacchille.
Yes.
Dacchille. That's how you pronounce it. Dacchille. And you have to say it like I say it, or it's not right. Yeah. You have to have some little bit of flang to it. Dacchille.
You went a little Mexican at the end of it.
Did I?
Yeah. Oh, see, this speaks exactly what to what just happened there. Your brain thinks
Yeah.
one thing, and
Exactly.
Yeah.
oh man,
Let's see what else we got going on. You guys got any questions for Parker?
yeah, shoot them out if you got them.
Shoot them out if you got them. If you don't know anything about, and what I'll do here while you guys are doing that is I'm gonna find that Lithium video real quick, and I'll post it so you guys can go check that one out. And there we go. And you can check all his links and everything like that to there we go. Post that in the chat. That should go to both YouTube and Facebook. Robert Van Hoy says, when will my bank be ready to buy? Yeah, I think it would be, it's kind of a challenge to ship those things, right? Don't you have to have you have to put all those special stickers
for it and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of what I mentioned earlier. It's just China hadn't sent me the cases yet, so I can't really build anymore until they show up, and I have no idea when they're going to show up.
Right. Now, I did have one question that we didn't really talk about during the show, but have you ever given any thought to your YouTube channel name? Like, do you think that you're ever going to do anything other than car audio with this channel?
I'm not sure. That's kind of why I've left it with just my name, because I don't want to.
You don't want to paint yourself into a corner.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the only reason I bring that up is because I used that Big D Wiz thing for years, and just it was just like a nickname or whatever. But when I changed mine to Williston Audio Labs, it was definitely a difference in the subscribers and all that stuff. So
Really?
it definitely made a difference. And I think
Interesting.
it's worth thinking about. It's up to you how you want to do it, obviously, but you can change your name as much as you like. You can be like John. John has got the deepest voice. He sounds like Barry White. But yeah, you have to listen to his videos. He's very soothing. Yeah. So cool. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see any other additional questions. Again, Parker, thank you, brother, for hanging out with us.
Thank you
and
so
all
much.
the stuff you do for car audio, all the fun stuff. And next time that I'm in the mountains of North Carolina, I'm going to hit you up and we'll have to get together.
Sounds good.
All right, let's do it. All right, everybody. Thanks again for hanging out with us. Y'all have a good week. We will catch you next time.
Later.
See ya.